Hello viewers, welcome back. Let me turn off the fan first. It's 1:48 a.m. and it's 29th of March 2026. I got a bit late for 28th March upload, so I'm recording it on 29th March morning or night of 28th March. And we'll start without any further delay because we are already late and I don't want to get more late. So let me set up the timer. Okay, so we were on page number 185. No. Yeah, we read up to 100, page number 185. Now we have to start from page number 186. Toothpaste had a similar trajectory. Manufacturers enjoyed great success when they added flavors like spearmint, peppermint, and cinnamon to their products. These, these flavors didn't improve the effectiveness of the toothpaste. They simply create a clean mouth feel and make the experience of wow and made the experience of brushing your teeth more pleasurable. My wife actually stopped My wife actually stopped using Sensodyne because she didn't like the aftertaste. She switched to a brand with a stronger mint flavor, which provided to be more satisfying. Conversely, in an experience, Conversely, if an experience is not satisfying, we have a little reason to repeat it. In my research, I came across the story of a woman who had a narcissist relative who drove her nuts. In an attempt to spend less time with this egomaniac, she acted as dull and boring, as dull as she acted as dull and as boring as possible whenever he was around. Within a few encounters, he started avoiding her because he found her so uninteresting. Stories like these are evidence of cardinal rule of behavior change. What is rewarded is repeated. What is punished is avoided. You learn what to do in the future based on what you were rewarded for doing in the past. Positive emotion cultivate habits. Negative emotions destroy them. The first three laws of behavior change make it obvious, make it attractive, and make it easy. Increase the odds that a behavior will be performed this time. Increase the odds that a behavior will be performed this time. The fourth law of behavior change. Make it satisfying. First three laws of behavior change: make it obvious, make it attractive, and make it easy. Increase the odds that a behavior will be satisfying. Increases the odds that a behavior will be repeated next time. It completes the habit loop. But there is a trick. We are not looking for just any type of satisfaction. We are looking for immediate satisfaction. Okay. Make it satisfying increases the odds that a behavior will be repeated next time. It completes the habit loop. But there is a trick. We are not just looking for a type of satisfaction, for just any type of satisfaction. We are looking for immediate satisfaction. Okay. The mismatch between immediate and delayed rewards. Imagine you are an animal roaming the plains of Africa, a giraffe or an elephant or a lion. On any given day, most of your decisions have immediate impact. You are always thinking about what to eat, or where to sleep, or how to avoid a predator. You are constantly focused on you are constantly focused on the present or the very near future. You live in what scientists call an immediate return environment because your actions instantly deliver clear and immediate outcomes. Now switch back to your human self. In modern society, many of the choices you make today will not benefit you immediately, but do a good job at work, you'll get a paycheck in a few weeks. If you exercise today, perhaps you won't be overweight next year. If you save money now, maybe you'll have enough for retirement decades from now. You live in what scientists call a delayed return environment because you can work for years before your actions deliver the intended payoff. The human brain did not evolve for life in a delayed return environment. The earliest remains of modern humans, known as Homo sapiens sapiens, are approximately 200,000 years old. These were the first humans to have a brain relatively small, similar to ours. In particular, the neocortex, the newest part of the brain, and the region responsible for higher functions like language, was roughly the same size 200,000 years ago as today. You are walking around with the same hardware as your Paleolithic ancestors. It's only recently, during the last 500 years or so, that society has shifted to a predominantly delayed return environment. Compared to the age of the brain, modern society is brand new. Compared to the age of the brain, modern society is brand new. In the last 100 years, we have seen the rise of car, the airplane, the television, the personal computer, the internet, the smartphone, and beyond. The world has changed much in recent years, but human nature has changed little. Similar to other animals on the American savanna, our ancestors spent their days responding to grave threats, securing the next meal, taking shelter from a storm. It made sense to place a high value on instant gratification. To place a high value on instant gratification. The distant future was less of a concern, and after thousands of generations in an immediate return environment, our brains evolved to prefer quick payoffs to long-term ones. Behavioral economists refer to this tendency as time inconsistency. That is, the way your brain evaluates rewards is inconsistent across time. You value the present moment than the future. Usually, this tendency serves us well. A reward that is certain right now is typically worth more than the one that is merely possible in the future. But occasionally, our biases towards instant gratification causes problems. Why would someone smoke if they know it increases the risk of lung cancer? Why would someone overeat when they know it increases the risk of obesity? Why would someone have unsafe sex if they know it can result in sexually transmitted disease? Once you understand how brain prioritizes rewards, the answer becomes clear. The consequences of bad habits are delayed while the rewards are immediate. Smoking might kill you in 10 years, but it reduces stress and eases your nicotine cravings now. Overeating is harmful in the long run, but appetizing in the moment. Safe or not, provides pleasure right away. Disease and infection won't show up for days or weeks, even years. Every habit produces multiple outcomes across time. Unfortunately, these outcomes are often misaligned. With our habits, the immediate outcome usually feels good, but the ultimate outcome feels bad. With good habits, it's the reverse. The immediate outcome is unenjoyable, but the ultimate outcome feels good. The French economist Frederick Bastiat, Bastiat, Bastiat Frederick Bastiat explained the problem clearly when he wrote, it almost always happens and when the immediate consequence is favorable, it almost always happens that when the immediate consequence is favorable, the later consequences are disastrous, and vice versa. Immediate consequences favorable, the later consequences are disastrous, and vice versa. Often, the sweeter the first fruit of a habit, the more bitter are its later fruits. Okay, put another way, the cost of your good habits are in the present. The cost of your bad habits are in the future. The real outcome of your bad habits will be shown in the future, but the real outcome of your good habits will be shown in the future too. The cost of your good habits are in the present. Cost of your bad habits are in the present. The cost of your good habits are in the present. So the thing you have to work hard. Am I still recording? Let me check, guys, please. Yes, I am. Hmm. Our brain's tendency to prioritize the present moment means you can't rely on on good intentions. When you make a plan to lose weight, write a book, or learn a language, you are actually making plans for the future self. And when you envision what you want your life to be like, it is easy to see the value in taking actions with long-term benefits. We all want better lives for our future selves. However, when the moment of decision arrives, instant gratification usually wins. You are no longer making a choice for future you, who dreams of bigger, fitter, or wealthier or happier. What? Your brain's tendency to prioritize the present moments mean it can't rely on good intentions. When you make a plan to lose weight, write a book, or learn a language, you are actually making plans for your future self. And when you envision what you want your life to be like, it is easy to see the value in taking actions with long term benefits. We all want better lives for our future selves. However, when the moment of decision arrives, instant gratification usually wins. You are no longer making choices for future you, who dreams of better, fitter, or wealthier or happier. Who dreams of being fitter or wealthier or happier. You are choosing a for present you who wants to be full, pampered, and entertained. As a general rule, the more immediate pleasure you get from an action, the more strongly you should question whether it aligns with your long term goals. With a fuller understanding of what causes your brain to repeat some behaviors and avoid others, let's update this cardinal rule of behavior change. What is immediately rewarded is repeated, what is immediately punished is avoided. Our preference for instant gratification reveals an important truth about success. Because of how we are wired, most people will spend all day chasing quick hits of satisfaction. The road less traveled is the road of delayed gratification. The road less traveled is the road of delayed gratification. That's a very good line. Let me underline it. Mm, the road less traveled is the road of delayed gratification. If you are willing to wait for the rewards, you will face less competition and often get bigger payoffs. As the saying goes, the last mile is always the least crowded. This is precisely what research has shown. People who are better at delaying gratification have higher SAT score, lower levels of substance abuse, lower likelihood of obesity, better response to stress, and superior social skills. We have seen this play out in our own lives. If you delay watching television and get your homework done, you will generally learn more and get better grades. If you don't buy desserts and chips at the store, you often eat healthier food when you get home. If you don't buy desserts and chips at the store, you'll often eat healthier food when you get home. At some point, every success in nearly every field requires you to ignore an immediate reward in favor of delayed reward. Success in nearly every field requires you to ignore an immediate reward in favor of a delayed reward. Here's the problem: most people know that delaying gratification is the wise approach. They want the benefits of good habits to be healthy, productive, at peace. But these outcomes are seldom top of mind at the decisive moment. Thankfully, it's possible to train yourself to delay gratification, but you need to work with the grain of human nature, not against it. The best way to do this is to add a little bit of immediate pleasure to the habits that pay off in the long run, and a little bit of immediate pain to ones that don't. How to turn instant gratification to your advantage. The vital thing in getting a habit to stick is to feel successful, even if it is in a small way. The feeling of success is like a signal. The feeling of success is a signal that your habit paid off and that the work was worth the effort. In a perfect world, in a perfect world, the reward for a good habit is the habit itself. In the real world, good habits tend to feel worthwhile only after they have provided you with something. Early on, it's all sacrifice. You have gone to the gym a few times, but you are not stronger or fitter or faster, at least not in any noticeable sense. So only months later, once you shed a few pounds on your arms, gain some definition, that it becomes easier to exercise for its own sake. In the beginning, you need a reason to stay on track. This is why immediate rewards are essential. They keep you excited while the delayed rewards accumulate in the background. Hmm. What we are really talking about here when we are discussing immediate rewards is the ending of a behavior. The ending of any experience is vital because we tend to remember it more than other phases. You want the ending of your habit to be satisfying. The best approach is to use reinforcement, which refers to the process of using an immediate reward to increase the rate of behavior. Habit stacking, which we covered in chapter 5, ties your habit to an immediate cue, which makes it obvious when to start. Reinforcement ties your habit to an immediate reward, which makes it satisfying when you finish. Immediate reinforcement can be especially helpful when dealing with habits of avoidance, which are behaviors you want to stop doing. It can be challenging to stick with habits like no frivolous purchases or no alcohol this month, because nothing happens when you skip happy hour drinks or don't buy that pair of shoes. It can be hard to feel satisfied. It can be hard to feel satisfied when there is no action in the first place. All you are doing is resisting temptation, and there isn't much satisfying about that. One solution is to open the solution situation in your on its head. Open So turn the situation on its head. You want to make avoidance visible. Open a savings account and label it for something you want, maybe leather jacket. Whenever you pass on a purchase, put the same amount of money on in that account. Skip your morning latte, transfer 5. Pass on another month of Netflix, move 10 over. It's like creating a loyalty program for yourself. The immediate reward of seeing yourself save money towards the leather jacket feels a lot better than being deprived. You are making it satisfying to do nothing. One of my readers and his wife used a similar setup. They wanted to stop eating out so much and start cooking together more. They labeled their savings account trip to Europe. Whenever they skipped going out to eat, they transferred 50 into their account. At the end of the year, they put the money towards the vacation. They put the money towards the vacation. It is worth noticing. It is worth noting that it is important to select short-term rewards that reinforce your identity rather than the ones that conflict with it. Buying a new jacket is fine if you are trying to lose weight or read more books, but it doesn't work if you are trying to budget and save money. For trying to budget and save money. Instead, taking a bubble bath or going on a leisurely walk, a good example of rewarding yourself with free time, which aligns with your ultimate goal of more freedom and financial independence. Similarly, if your reward for exercising is eating a ball of ice cream, then you are casting votes for conflicting ideas, and it ends up being a wash. Instead, maybe your reward is a message, which is both luxury and vote towards taking care of your body. Now, the short-term reward is aligned with your long-term vision of being a healthy person. Eventually, eventually, an intrinsic reward like a better mood, more energy, and reduced stress kick in, you will become less concerned with chasing the secondary reward. Rewards like a better mood. Okay. Eventually, as intrinsic rewards like better mood, more energy, reduced stress kick in, you will become less concerned with chasing the secondary reward. Chasing the secondary reward, the identity itself becomes a reinforcer. The reinforcer. You do it because it is who you are, and it feels good to be you. The more a habit becomes part of your life, the less you need outside encouragement to follow through. Incentives can start a habit. Identity sustains a habit. Hmm. Incentives can start a habit, but identity sustains the habit. That said, it takes time for the evidence to accumulate and new identity to emerge. Immediate reinforcement helps maintain motivation in the short term while you are waiting for the long term rewards to arrive. In summary, a habit needs to be enjoyable for it to last. Simply bits of reinforcement like soap that smells great, or toothpaste that has a refreshing mint flavor, or seeing $50 hit your savings account can offer the immediate pleasure you need to enjoy a habit, and change is easy when it is enjoyable. And change is easy when it is enjoyable. Chapter summary. The fourth law of behavior change is to make it satisfying. We are more likely to repeat a behavior when the experience is satisfying. The human brain evolved to prioritize immediate rewards over delayed rewards. The cardinal rule of behavior change. What is immediately rewarded is repeated. What is immediately punished is avoided. What is immediately punished is avoided. To get a habit to stick you to get a habit to stick you need to find immediately successful. You need to feel immediately successful, even if it's in a small way. The first three laws of behavior change: make it obvious, make it attractive, and make it easy. Increase the odds that behavior will be performed this time. The fourth law of behavior change: make it satisfying, increases the odds that the behavior will be repeated next time. So chapter 15 is finished, guys. We have to start with chapter 16 tomorrow. Its name is How to Stick with Good Habits Every Day. Mm. Today's was a very good read. I got to learn a lot from it. We read up to page number 193. What we read today was the immediate and delayed rewards and the process of delayed gratification. So what is delayed gratification? So it's basically something like uh, delaying the process of gratification, like you thinking every action as something as whether it is giving you an immediate sense of gratification or it is going to give you gratification in a long term. If it is going to give you gratification in a long term and you have to put in efforts without getting results for a long time, then that is a good habit to follow. But if it is something that is providing you results very fast, then it's not a very good habit to follow, and it is easy to achieve. So you should not follow those habits through or even start those habits because they are what we call bad habits. Let me kill these mosquitoes. They have been biting me off for like an hour. Okay, so that's what delayed gratification is. So to keep a habit, you need to link it with a reward, instant reward. It can be very small, but it has to be there to reinforce the process of repeating that habit, reinforce the thought of you repeating that habit. But it doesn't mean that the reward needs to be something counterintuitive to the habit you are trying to follow, like going to the gym and after that eating a bowl of ice cream. That's very counterintuitive, right? So you have to keep something very, like you have to keep the rewards in line with your habit, like going to the gym and after that, what should it be? After going to the gym, I'll I'll intensify. What was that word? I'll incentivize. I'll incentivize myself with. mm Incentivize myself with. What should I incentivize? So there is one thing more the writer tried to tell us about, that if you are doing a habit that is hard for you to perform in the first place, then you need these rewards, so-called rewards, to make you to repeat them. But if you have been performing the habit for a while, then you start to feel like I am this person who does this habit. The habit becomes your identity after some time. So first of all, you don't feel the habit to be that hard that you need that reward, and secondly, the habit becomes your identity, so you don't want to leave it. So that's also the reason you try to repeat it without needing any rewards. So for in my case, there are some habits like waking up in the morning. Please comment down any ideas for rewarding myself with waking up in the morning. What should I do? Please comment down if you have any ideas. And he also talks about creating punishments for bad habits. Like if you performed a bad habit, then punish yourself with some punishment, so you would not repeat that habit next time in fear of the punishment. But the punishment needs to be very, like, if the bad habit is very very intuitive to you, you have to keep the punishment very high, then only you will be able to, if not very high, then at least doable and hard at the same time, if you know what I mean. Then only you will be able to not repeat the same mistake and again. That's it. That's what we did today. And incentives Incentives can start a habit, identity sustains a habit. That's a great line we read today. The road less traveled is the road of delayed gratification. Mm. So that's it for today, guys. We read up to page number 193. We have to start from page number 195. And this is the page. I hope you can see it. Okay. That's it, guys. I'll see you tomorrow. Until then, go find your purpose, guys. It's very important.